What is up? I got something special for y'all today. I'm doing a solo. Um, all my peoples out there, you already know. I sent the message out there for y'all. Tune in. Today, we're going to be going over the book of Enoch, the book of knowledge, the keys of Enoch. For y'all that don't know who Enoch is, he was supposedly the person that went up into the heavens and with God and went through the heavens and seen how everything worked. So supposedly he wrote the book, WHYH, which is you, hey, wav, hey. They're Hebrew, and those are the letters that it represents. Those are the words, in other words, that it represents. The words mean something. Everything we say means something. In fact, I was just watching the show and say when you look into say you get a drop of water and you say, I love you, and you put intention into that drop of water of I love you, and you freeze it, it makes a snow-like crystal of love, like a snowflake. But say you say, oh, I hate you, it makes, instead of making a geometric figure that looks good, it makes an abstract thing of hate. So your words mean something. What you say to yourself means something. What you say to others means something. How do I know? Because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word became flesh. So people, we got to rewrite or re-educate ourselves, relearn. We have to unlearn, relearn to learn the proper thing. So we going today with the book of knowledge. I already said the keys of Enoch. I've already talked about it before. But today we got a real special show. So before I even start, I always hit you with a little music. Keep your head up. Stop praying to the ground.
Keep your head to the sky. Keep your head to the sky.
Trust in us. Do skies have walls? Open single stalls like Philip at Falls. Highlight their flaws, balls, but all gone through. Trust only you. Manly check crew. Fake from true. Some sue the system when they can't get with them. Split them or hit them. Tactics is a killer, not feeling but pays. Past masters' ways. The casket praise. Thinkers turn slave. Different drugs, same craze. Same path, different maze. Same math, different age. Same craft, different cage. Bondage mentality. Can't release inner energy. Closed eyes can't see. Selves into your galaxy. Fighters read money. Shot herds nightly. Self-knowledge a key. Eternal mastery. Our strategy for profits. Got neighborhood hot topics. Our children's crop. It's not proper economics, but
Keep your head to the sky.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Come on.
Keep your head to the sky.
trust in us. Every day, living deal with wicked ways. Ill displays of rage, hypocrisy is praise. Stressful situations, corporate administration. Strong as if the patience, we know we gon' make it. Keep your head up, you can't depend on luck. Mix up or leave you stuck, wonder who you can trust. Wait till the day they all laugh and play. World turns you away, curse not praise. Back to tents of soap, no scenes of blood spilt. Wrong will feel the guilt, thing destroyed, rebuilt. Ignorance out of schools, fools blessed with Jews. Consciousness the tool, righteousness the rule. Dumb can ask why, blind receive an eye. The ones hear the cry, shy testify. It's been prophesied, try and despise. Stop praying to the ground, keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground, keep your head to the sky. Keep your head up, keep it 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 up. Keep your head, trust in us. Live your life, you gotta live your life.
What?
Live your life, just live your life. Come on, live your life. You gotta live your life, just live your life. Live your life. It's a trap, struggling to read life's map. Focus
focused energy tab on the truth, don't nab. We need pearls, not crab. Insty junkies rap. Where's the meaningful top bag? Eat like the drop bag. Hip hop's not gun shy. Heart open wide, meaning focused and I. Living lyrics can't die. Multiply, spit fire. Freestyles don't tie. Move the live wire. Takes me on high. That's why I got the people flocking in. For 64 Jews of the Enochian. There's 2 part deity and 1 part men. Over sin and freshness. Concentrated bestness. Test this buffet. Open dinner, lunch, and breakfast. Correctness versus reckless. Science, check this. Fix on the nexus. 1,000 Malcolm X's. Cells like sex. Water to Texas. Keep heads erect. It's time to internet. It's living your life. Just living your life. Just living your life. It's living your life. It's living.
Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground. Stop praying to the ground. Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky.
Jailbirds can fly, twisting out.
Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground. Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground.
Jailbirds can fly, twisting out.
Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground. Keep your head to the sky. Stop praying to the ground.
Woo! If that don't put you in the mood, I don't know what can. But that was nice. All right. So this is part 1 of 4. I'm doing one today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 1 o'clock. All right. For all my peoples out there. All right. I'm doing this because I was sitting there like I always do in my meditation, talking with my spirit. My spirit was like, hey, you got some time on your hands. Let's do some things. Let's get back into the book of Enoch. Only reason I'm doing it because people were interested in the book of knowledge, Enoch. Yuhe Wavhe, but if you want to buy it, you're gonna buy it by the book of knowledge, the keys of Enoch. All right, supposedly, like I said before, Enoch went into the heavens and he brought back all the science. And bro, the book is packed with science. Now, this is not for a beginner. This is not for an intermediate. This is for advanced to mastery study. All right. The only reason I'm bringing it out is because people are interested in it and what was going on. All right. This talks about the future, the past, the present. It talks about other earths. It talks about the Elohim. Elohim is the original word for God. The problem is Elohim is plural. The gods. So it's not a single word. So in the Bible, when you see God, replace that with Elohim, gods. But there's a lot of things we need to replace in the Bible. That's another story. This book is part of the scriptures of the Bible. The ones that they don't want you to know. So, barring all of that, the keys of Enoch. I'm going to start at the very, very beginning. Truly, before I can establish physical advance, we must consciously advance through the thought forms, which are fire torches of creativity connecting the 2 indwelling temples of the spirit within our brain. What are we talking about? What 2 indwelling spirits in the brain? What are we saying? So I'm going to keep it slow. Conscious advancement, meaning this is a conscious game. Who knows? Consciousness is awareness. All right. Awareness of facts to knowing. Okay, so we must consciously advance through the thought forms, which are fire torches of creativity connecting the 2 indwelling temples of the spirit within our brain. What are these 2 indwelling spirits in our brain? It's the living flame geometries of color and sound. Within the keys to open the mind locks of consciousness for the divine mind to be seated directly within our innermost mind so that we can begin to think in the divine pictures which trace and compose all scenarios of creation. I ain't playing with you. This is the first page, y'all. I ain't even playing, bro. First page. Pre-thought. Okay. So I'm just saying, I've read this book many a times, but it ain't about what I know, what I've read. It's about what I know and how I can break this down. So I'm gonna read it again, but then we gonna keep going because this is gonna get deep. We going deep down the rabbit hole. I'll say it again. Truly, before the physical can advance, we must consciously advance through thought forms. What does that mean? Before we can advance physically, so the things in our life can improve, we can make more money or have a better lifestyle, more cars, more, whatever that physical looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good is. Before that can advance in you, what must you do first? We must consciously advance through thought forms. What are thought forms? That's our thinking. That's what we want, we desire, we like, those thought forms. So if you put thought forms into the spirit, it's going to help you advance spiritually. If you put thought forms into the material, it's going to slowly drain your energy. Okay, the only way to advance it gets, so you can say that, oh, I know people that got this, got that. Yeah, they do. So you can put thought forms into the material to get material, but you don't get any spiritual things out of it. Okay, for you to be on a spiritual journey, what we have learned, me and my boy Jazzy was just talking about this before, for spiritual gifts to be granted and received and used, you got to give up something physical, something material. It's got to go. Let's keep going. Through the thought forms, our thinking, which are the firing torches of creativity. What is creativity? Creativity is that light bulb, bing, that pops on. It's from another realm. It ain't about this. When we think and we're trying to create, we're in ourselves. The best us is in us when we love us and can control our own passions. Because anytime you see anybody else, someone cut you off on the road and you get angry, it just represents something in you that you don't like, that you must overcome. Because everyone is a representation of you. Let me keep going. We'll never finish like this. All right. Truly, before the physical advance, we must constantly advance through the thought forms, which are the firing torches of creativity, continually connecting the two indwelling temples of the spirit within our brain. The living flame geometries of color and sound within the keys to open the mind locks of consciousness for the divine mind to be seated directly within the innermost mind so that we can begin to think in divine pictures which trace and compose the many scenarios of creation. So when it's talking about these two indwelling temples in our spirit, it's talking about our higher self and our lower self. It's talking about a part of us that can see the future, knows the future, needs nothing. And it's talking about a part of us that needs everything, the physical body. That's your devil. Why? It wants, it needs everything. It's in flesh. It needs to eat, drink, shit. It needs love, shelter. It wants all the money. It wants all the drugs. It wants everything. And to balance that off, you have a other side of you that needs nothing. But as long as you're concentrated on the lowest part of yourself, that is what you will get. But when you concentrate on the higher part of yourself, then you start to understand how you're in a world and not of it. Well, let me keep going. So we're talking about the two indwelling temples in the spirit within the brain. One takes us to a higher plane. One keeps us right here trapped in this physical, like this is all and this is it. The living flame geometries, that is your soul. That is your essence of who you are, being in a world and out of it. If you got 9 ether and your hair grows to the sun, you have a soul. You're an alien to this world. We'll get into that. The keys open up the mind locks of consciousness for the divine mind to be seated directly within the innermost mind. So you're allowing the spiritual essence of the divine, the essence of divinity to be spiritually imposed upon you. So now you can speak on higher realms. You can talk about the infinite and the eternal. You can talk about things that don't look good, taste good, smells good, sounds good, feel good. All the material stuff is now superseded in a higher form of light, light consciousness, capital L light. The keys open the mind locks of the consciousness for the divine mind to be seated directly within the innermost mind so that we can begin to think in the divine pictures which trace and compose the many scenarios for creation. These divine pictures is that substance of things hoped for. Because now your mind is in the spiritual realm and you can see how shit can work down here only if we use spiritual principles. The evidence of things not seen is what's shown to you and only you. When you read a book, when the spirit talks to you, when you listen, that's that faith. You need evidence for faith. The curse is belief, because you can believe in something totally wrong and die for it. And that's what they want. They want to keep us ignorant in belief. But I'm going to keep going. The higher revealed wisdoms open up the 7 seals in the Western traditions, or the 7 chakras in the Eastern traditions, through the progress of breathing, the innotations of the sacred sounds. So we need breathing. That's the sacred sounds, the mantras, right? We need visualization, fusion of the many levels. So you need to say something. In the beginning was where, and you need to see something, same time, and the projection to go beyond the chemical constructs of memory. So now you want to go beyond what you have known into the next realm of the unknown, into the chaos. The 7 seals open simultaneously, linking us with the cosmic, the tree of life. All right, that's the Medu Neter. All right, breaking it down for you. How we come from the subjective realm, a realm where there's no objects, into the objective realm, a realm where you can look good, feel good, taste good, sounds good, smells good, a realm of objects, the realm of duality. Now, mind you, very beginning of the book, but we need this basic understanding before we move forward, because we're only going to get deeper. For this reason, the keys are to be experienced simultaneously on all 7 levels of the divine form, from a subatomic level, a subatomic level, a molecular level, a genetic level, a mathematical level, a musical level, a paraphysical and supernumeral aspects of the revealing the nature of the Shekinah. The Shekinah represents the spirit or the female aspect of the Kundalini, because the Kundalini is female, and that's the energy that acts within all of us. So whenever you hear Shekinah, just put woman, just put divine mother, just put goddess of all things physical. All right, let's keep going. The Shekinah, the divine presence, the female aspect of the Godhead, exists in all creative orderings of all dimensions. This is why they try to get rid of the female aspect of power here on earth, because her energy unlocks everything. And that energy is also in males. It's called the Kundalini energy. Once again, I'm going to read it again. The Shekinah, the divine presence. So it's the Shekinah, then it has quotes, the divine presence, the female aspect of the Godhead exists in all creative orderings in all dimensions. I'm going to leave it right there. For those that can see, let them see. For those that can't, it is what it is. So it goes on. I was told how those who govern the power of the earth are those who have fallen from higher heavens and now indwelling in the stars of Earthman would call Eurasia Major, which is the Big Dipper. From this Stargate, they control one of the major entrant points into into our local system from higher heavens. I saw how the masters from previous cycles were cast down to the stars from which they now govern, to lower planetary worlds and the karmatic principles that are assigned to each. I was shown how the earth was a part of a biological testing zone, using both fallen and divine thought forms to determine what type of intelligence would eventually free itself from the countless physical realms of existence controlled by the fallen hierarchies inhabiting the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper, Polaris and the Polaris. These realms contain beings of imperfect bodies of light who use their powers to establish themselves as gods in the lower heavens. This is where your Adam and Eve comes from. Gene splicing, creating shit. This is where your God comes through to say, I'll have no other God but me. There should be no other God but you if you're the only God. Okay, when they say Adam and Eve, hey, what have you done? How does God not know? How does God not know the snake was in the Bible? The God that we talk about that of everything and all things knows everything. So I don't know who these lesser gods are unless they're the gods we're talking about right here. These gods that fell, that are in physical bodies like us. They may have technology that will help them mean superior and godlike in thought, but that's all it is. Physical beings like ourselves. We have the same share of essence that they have. In fact, we are part of that. Nine ether, baby. Don't forget about it. But let me keep going. The keys reveal that the overlap between higher evolution and human evolution as man is going through an alpha, is going through his alpha and omega, the beginning and the end. Now, this is key. Did you know that the word world was changed from the original word that mean age? So when they say that the ending of the world, they're really just saying the end of this age. All right. And these ages and all this earth is millions of years old. We have one age on top of another. In fact, in my book that is soon coming out, Cosmic Awareness, we talk about this. Stuff that in the book of the Enoch is broken down into the King James Bible so that we can all get a clear view of what we're really talking about. In my book, I have this chart. Oh, it's going to be hard to see. I have this chart. But in the chart, it talks about the cosmic time clock, how each one zodiac cycle, Pisces, is 2,160 years, one cycle. 12 zodiac cycles, which is your 12 zodiacs, equals 25,900 years. 12 hours equals 12 zodiac cycles. When you're looking at it as a clock, all right? 1 hour, one zodiac. So each of the zodiac cycles represents 30 degrees of the 360 degrees on your time clock or your watch, right? If you look at it, each one is a cycle. So that would be Pisces. Then you'd go to Aries. Each one going around, there's 12, right? From 1 to 12 going through a cycle. It also talks about 2 rotations of a clock for the full 24 hours. So one cycle of 25,920 years is only half a day because that represents one cycle of the clock from midnight to noon. Now we got to go to the next cycle, which represents the ending of an age or the ending of a world. Each cycle represents a different change within the world. But as we get to the 52,000 year cycle, that ends the ending of that whole age. It's over. We go into a whole new thing. If you can see it, within the cycle is what? The squaring of the circle. What is the squaring of a circle? The squaring of a circle represents how there's 360 degrees within a circle, but it all represents physical creation. It's the involution or the entropy, why we die while we're surrounded by centropy. That's the electrification of matter. That would be everlasting life. And I break down the different things within there. This is all in my book, Cosmic Awareness, where I'm breaking everything down. I'm giving you everything you need to succeed and excel. All you have to do is open up your mind. You have to unlearn, relearn, and learn again. All right, but let me keep going. Okay. All right. The keys reveal the overlap between high evolution and human evolution as was taking place in the Alpha and Omega. This is this age, the worlds. So we have 2,140 year cycles. We have 25,000 year cycles. We have 52,000 year cycles. These are all cycles that happen on the earth over these millions of years that keep repeating itself. That's why they can find pottery, they can find gold, they can find machine crafted things thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago because it's just a remake. This is what they don't want us to know. This shit has came and gone 1,000 times, 100,000 times already. We're just caught up in one cycle. Let me keep going. These scenarios, abstracts, were projected in glowing geometries of light, capital L light, conscious light, which is a part of the fire letters used to prescribe the knowledge of the Father's universe to the Son's universe, to the Mother's universe, or the Shekinah universe, and connecting one eternity of time with another eternity of time. Once again, nothing ever dies. It only transforms. All right. I was shown how the mysteries of the Father's house of many mansions, or his many zodiacs, or his many constellations, allow infinite Madrid of creations to proceed out of the Father's impressible love, linking all manners of species of creation with the infinite way. So even now you are infinite and eternal, you just don't know it. You think you're this, you think you're that, therefore you are that until your mind changes. That's how powerful the mind is. That's why they link you to television, music, newspaper. They want to put everything in your mind that is not true. You've been lied to since elementary school, since you turned the television on. NASA's been lying to you. The government's been lying. They want to keep you controlled and huddled like sheep. But I'll keep going. As your soul advances, you become part of a joyous participation and share in the inner peace of a great unification of the First Supper now taking place between the brotherhood of man and the greater universal intelligence, the brotherhood of light. All right. So why is this so important? You are to see how life's blueprint has already existed in worlds prior to material creation. So what we are experiencing is a trickle down from higher spiritual creations on a higher frequency, vibrating quicker than ours. And it's playing itself down through layer after layer after layer. You will see how life's blueprint has already existed in the worlds prior to material creation, and to the understanding of how a timeless blueprint has coded into the body of the temporal consciousness so that your body can put on the garments of God's creative works through the multiple bodies of divine love. So this physical body is only one body of the epikinetic, our atom cadmium body, which represents the 5 different bodies that overlap this one. The physical body is the electromagnetic body. Then you have the kinetic body. Then you have the mental body. Then you have the soul body. Okay. Then you have the overself body that takes on all of them into one. But we're not being taught this. No one's saying nothing about it because they don't know, because this is what they hide. Let me keep going. So we talked before about the Father's universe, the Son's universe, the Mother's universe. The key to the Father's universe are to explain how the mansion worlds of the Father are connected to the divine creators, creating new universes through cosmic pyramids of capital L light, conscious light. So when you look out there into the realm and you see stars and galaxies and things of that nature, you're looking at the greatest, the largest of it, which is the Father's universe. That would be for a house, that would be the necessary pipes and pumps and water pumps and energy things and telephone lines and things that you need before you even put the house, before you even put the foundation on it. You need that, right? Then it goes to what? The keys to the Son's universe explains how the biological codes of the Christ race, not Christ being a person, Christ being an energy, a title of anointment, of godness, of the Christ race are evolved into the image determined by the Father through the paradise sons and no lesser image. Here's where we go to the fall, where the Elohims have the ability to create human life in their image. They could go with the Father's plan or their own plan, but the Father's plan is perfect. When you reject the Father's plan, this is when transgression and sin happens. Let me keep going. The key to the mother's universe, or the Shekinah universe, explains how the spiritual gifts of the Holy Spirit will be given to the Christ race so that spiritual man can work directly with the whole capital L light beings, a conscious light that's an inner light in us that is programming us from within, going against what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. Giving the spiritual race a man to communicate directly with the whole light being, the angelic messengers who will prepare the righteous of the earth for the counsel of the light, which will be established upon the earth at the time of the new heavens and the new earth. I think that's biblical. I think that's King James version, not Genesis, and Revelations, when it talks about the establishings of the new heavens and the new earth. But it isn't a change of the world, it's a change of age. We're going into the next progression. The old age is done. We've lived through it, been through it. Now we're going to the next age. Those that cannot handle the energy, the higher enlightenment, the spiritual gifts that are being poured, they got their umbrellas up and don't want them, though they will be recycled back into the old age so they can continue their journey. Us that are ready to move forward will move forward. Us that came down there as messengers or way holders, ones that help the people, we get a special gift to get to the next level. So don't get it twisted. On this level, there's another level. On this level, the next level, there's another higher level than that. These are the image that I'm giving you is open-ended. It's a spiral upward that never ends. The physical creation, this embodiment we're in right now, is to help us to be pride and true. So when we get to levels of things we're in the spirit, we already beat this thing in the physical. The hardest spot it is to beat it. Right here, right now, to go against what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. Once you can beat this level, you're destined for great things because you're a pride and true. You've been tested. You've got millions and trillions of spirits that wish they could come down here to the earth to go through the test you're going through. This is how special you are. This is how divine each of us are. Everyone is playing their role. But let me keep going. These, the righteous who will inherit the many galactic trees on the other side of the Alpha and Omega. And when the cycle is completed, the righteous will participate in new worlds and recognize all manifestations of the Father's universe, the living universe, beyond all living universes, beyond all ascended masters of capital L conscious light and all brotherhoods of light. So we're trying to get I'm trying to get Destiny's championship ring. I'm trying to come back and let you know the truth. This is what's going on, and we're all a part of it. It all depends on how you use your love and light. All right? We now have an opportunity to collectively move into another system of creation. Therefore, these teachings has been given in a form of keys to help coordinate the 64 unique areas of the scientific knowledge, which must be scientifically advanced. All the keys will appeal to the same type of scientific and conscious evolution because we work on various levels of understanding and are connected with the totality of knowing the light, capital L light. This capital L light is in you. It is not out here. It is in you. It's a conscious light. The primary frequency of the infinite mind. This capital L light is the primary frequency, the code, the download to get to the infinite mind, which is in you. The infinite mind and the eternal is in you. All I'm doing is trying to activate these energies that are in you. And we ain't even got to the first key. This is just the prelude, just to get your mind to know why the keys are getting given, why I'm even doing this now, because it's necessary for you to know. All right. Therefore, the keys are being given to the builders of conscious frontiers for both physical and spiritual science. There's a difference. There's a physical science dealing with what's physical, what we can see and touch and taste. And there's a spiritual science dealing with the infinite and the eternal, which is also something we can experience in small parts. That's what keeps me young. That's what keeps my 53-year-old body not full of gray. I have gray, but it's not full of gray because even at 53, I'm still young. I'm still dwelling and enjoying the spiritual energy. I'm spiritually led, meaning nothing out here means anything. It's only what means something in my own spiritual journey, and I'm spiritually fed. I feed myself off living light energy, not necessarily food. I don't need food to exist in this realm anymore. I can now feed myself through light, through my chakras directly. But that's a higher principle. That's things that you get when you be on this spiritual journey. Let me keep going. Therefore, the keys are being given to the builders of the conscious frontiers of both physical science and spiritual science, who place the needs of mankind first, or the needs of those that want to go to the next level first, and their own needs second. Enoch said that the keys cannot be applied to an individualistic level since they are involved in a collective advancement of the human race. So the reason I was given the keys so that I can go share the keys. These are things that should be shared amongst all of us. It's not an individual thing. Knowledge is taken freely or given freely as it should be shared. So once you get to a higher level of spiritual knowing, this is a side effect of trying to help others. Because it's not just about me. It's about all of us that are thinking in a certain way. I can't help those that are trapped in religion. Religion is supposed to get you to a certain point, but you're supposed to break free from religion to get to yourself, inner you, because that's key. All right. Enoch also told me in order to work with these keys, one must be able to go beyond the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is time beyond conventional time. So once you'll start to understand that even the time that you pot, it doesn't exist. It only exists in your mind. You go beyond that because the spiritual realms act faster. And so you can see the future. Because if you can see into the spiritual realm, you can see what's coming down to the physical. I know it sounds crazy. These are all things that are possible that are happening right now. Spiritual gifts are being poured. Put your umbrellas down, embrace it, soak them in. Let it go through your skin. Just like you put that lotion on, let it go through your skin. Anything you put on your skin absorbs into the skin, into the bloodstream. Makeup, hair products, glue for your eyes or your nails, all that goes into the skin. Okay? You've been bamboozled and tricked to thinking that all these things are isolated. All this is one thing, the same thing. So Enoch told us that in order to work with these keys, one must go beyond the fourth dimension. The fourth dimension is time beyond conventional time. And going beyond conventional time, you stand in awe of a larger universe, because now you start to see that this realm of physical existence is just one of many, a multitude of physical existence that exist on many different realms and different frequencies. It only depends on your conscious level, your ability to love. Love is directly connected to consciousness. The more you love, the more consciousness you will have. Let me keep going. Here the intellect must bow down to the spirit mind in the same way life must bow down to the infinite way, which is a continually repatterning and regeneration of creation. So it's a continuing thing. There is no death. There's one generation, one epoch. For those that missed it, they replaced the word world with age. It used to be ages. So we go through different ages and we recognize what ages we were going through and the trials that we'd have to go through. Now they're saying different world, like the whole world is coming to an end. No such thing. All right, let me keep going. So hence, This book has been delivered to you in order that you may be prepared for the opening of the pyramid within the foundation of change, so that your being will be prepared as the atom upon the earth to move into the next unfolding of the Adam Cadman, the primary man of light. The Adam Cadman represents the five bodies of light over the epikinet. Over this electromagnetic body that allows us to go into many realms of creation. All right. The Adam Cadman, the primary man of light. In this transformation, this mind expansion, the earth is a part of a biochemical testing zone, will allow the love of the Father and the species to be increased in multiplied, when some programs of creation will be brought to an end and decrease in the pattern of overall creation. So I'm going to say it again. In this transformation, in this age, in this world, when this comes to an end, because this is just an age, it's not a world. Start thinking differently when we're using the language. In this transformation, the world, as a part of a biological testing zone, will allow the love of the Father and the species to be increased and multiplied, while some programs of consciousness will be brought to an end, decreased in the pattern of overall creation. Meaning, as we move through to the next ordering, the new earth and the new heavens, some things will go away, be repatterned. Some things will be increased. Okay? All right. In the preparation for the study of the keys, in order to trigger the gifts of the Holy Spirit, the Shekinah, or the mother, one must strive to be at the center, feeling and completely, one must strive to be centered, feeling completely in the love of the Father within, avoiding all other thoughts that would sacrifice the wisdom of God for monetary enthusiasm, and bow to graven images, even images of the masters. What is it saying? It's going back to the Bible again, talking about don't worry about or bow down to what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, smells good. The only way is for you to be centered in the love and the security of the essence of all, the everything, the Father's everything, the it's everything. And don't sacrifice the wisdom for monetary gain. Oh, I can use this to get this. Oh, I can use this to get this. Yes, you can. Absolutely. But is it worth it? Selling your soul. All right, so let's move on. So why is all this important? The mind can emulate into matter and can take on material form. Material form is necessary to serve as a biological foundation of new worlds of existence. Blessed are those who have known our image. For the Adamic image exists before creation. So what does this do? This biological testing zone takes beings of infinite and eternal that never know death, place them in the physical bodies to be tested to see if they can handle the struggle of physical life. This life is so important that we are blessed to have it, because when we come out of it, we will be totally different beings, because now we have lived a life where we know we can die. In our essence, we cannot die. We're infinite and eternal. The Adam man was created simultaneously in the heavens and transported along the energy grids into the physical embodiment of the divine form, which he can return to after his explorations of consciousness. So what is it saying? Your body right now was simultaneously created in the heavens. You're here to explore and bring that heavenly energy, that higher energy, down into this lower realm, to experience it at a higher level, not on the level that looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good, not on the material level that gathers women or cars or wants money or gold. You want to control everything and have everything. No, that is the test. As your consciousness, as you move through the seven chakras or the seven consciousness, from the lower chakra of me, up to the higher consciousness of all of us. All right. We are here as an experience, experiment, exploring the opportunities to achieve yet greater things being tried and tested in material worlds. However, in coming to the earth, each spiritual soul leaves a particular treasure or a share of its treasure of the living light behind them in higher worlds, which it will await its return. Okay, so it's letting you know the essence of you is not here. You're just the shell of who you are, but the essence of you can be tapped into. Not all at once, but sips and things. These are the spiritual gifts. All right. In conversion of light to material form, our world was originally commissioned in the Father's name. When they say the Father's name, they're talking about this plan for the many and the one, for all universes, all galaxies, all solar systems, all Earth-like planets. There's a plan for us. If we follow this plan, we move from Earth-like systems here 0 to Earth-like systems 1, where there's multiple Earth-like. We're in communication with multiple Earths on other realms of experience. Right now, we're in this divide because we're in a realm of spatial darkness, because we're in a realm filled of hate. The fallen or Elohim or the fallen gods have used all their energies to keep us trapped here. And now it's time for the mind to be awakened. In conversion of the light, capital L conscious light, into material form, our world was originally commissioned in the Father's name, but was intercepted by the fallen masters or Elohim, who applied their vibration to creation. The King of Kings, the Lords of Light, who brought this creation out of his greater love, capital L love, all-encompassing love, meaning needs nothing in return, allowed the Elohim Lords the prerogative of creating the threshold of advanced intelligence for the seed of the Elohims. However, some of the Lords of Light revolted, these Elohims revolt and sought not only to condemn the Adamic creation to destruction, but also to interfere with the next models of the Adamic humanity created for this planet. Like I said, there's cycles. Not only do they want to destroy this cycle, they want to destroy all cycles of these great 2,000 year cycles, 25,000 year cycles, 50,000 year cycles, or ages, or worlds. Same stuff. You just got to retune the mind to reprogram it a different way. Ages are just worlds. They just want you to think it's all the world is coming to an end. No, the age is coming to an end. It's time for us to advance or be removed. All right. So, however, some of the Lords of Light revolted against and sought to commend the Adamic creation to destruction by interfering with the next orders of the Adamic humanity created for this planet. All right. The term evolution is used in Enoch, means the advancement of conscious power in overcoming physical limitations in all conscious states that would inhibit the full expression of the capital L love of the creator in all kingdoms of intelligence. True evolution is spiritual evolution, whereby spiritual vehicles evolve towards the divine self in concert with one another. Spiritual evolution coordinates the enlightenment of conscious vehicles in you. These are things that are in you. You doing the work. You taking these steps, 2, 3 steps towards the spirit. And the spirit taking these 4, 6 steps back towards you. All right. True evolution is spiritual evolution, whereby the spiritual vehicles evolve towards a divine self in concert with one another. A divine self, things that are in you, your chakras start to evolve together in unison as your consciousness is opened up to the higher evolution, to the infinite and the eternal. All right. Spiritual evolution coordinates the enlightenment of the conscious individual, giving sustaining purpose through life, through the fruits of love and wisdom. Through knowing and loving, you add consciousness. Direct opposite of what we've been taught. All right. According to Enoch, our memories of higher evolution or spiritual evolution are hidden from our knowledge by a veil of light. When this veil is removed, other worlds of existence will be simultaneously revealed to us through our overself, our inner us. Remember this is all inner us. This has nothing to do with anything outside of you. This is you dealing with the higher aspects of you. This is what they don't want you to know. All right. However, this choice to serve the light, capital L conscious light, must be made in every embodiment, in every cycle, in every plan for creation. So you'll always be tested. Like I said, this is an open-ended thing. We're going upward, upward, upward. Now we can skip stages through our work, through our work in the spirit. What's it saying in the spirit? Spirit without work is dead. And the work is you working on yourself, not you giving to others, giving to the poor, not you out there volunteering doing this. No, you meditating and learning about you, getting you right. Then you can do all that as a side effect and do it very effectively. Whew. So the only thing we have done is gotten through the prelude. What do they call it? They call it the prelude. Hopefully this will be the beginning to activate your mind, because now we're going to go into the actual keys themselves. There's 64 keys in Enoch. You have 12. You have so many in the Father's universe, so many in the Son's universe, so many in the Mother's universe or the Spirit's universe. All right. What we have been talking about, if you go back through my podcast on Overstanding Darkness, only thing we have talked about is the Father's universe. We haven't even gotten to the spirits or the sons, because these things are so deep. But the first key, as you see, they are written in Hebrew fire levers. What do they say? We live in the many in the one universe. What does that mean? Many in the one. That means that this universe, our solar system, our atomic planetary communication is open-ended. And it's open-ended through your mind. Your mind must first become open-ended. Then you can start to see other realms other than what looks good, feels good, tastes good, sounds good. When you break free from yourself, this physical body, and into your spiritual body. It says we live in the many in the one universe. The creative mind, as the center of this universe, is known as the Lord King Redeemer in you. These are things that are in you. The creations which survive are creations in this physical creation. The creations which survive this physical creations, are creations which desire that the species gather, capital L, life and light, into the image and similitude of higher evolution, which is the capital L living universe. So we're part of a greater phase. We're at the beginning stage of a greater phase. And what do we have to do to survive? We have to desire. It has to be a want. Something that you want to do. Not just that you do. Something that you want to do. A desire, a want. For what? To gather light and life into the image in the similitude, because we are made into the image in the similitude of higher evolution. Not just the image will fade away with death, but the similitude, the divine pattern that keeps our thoughts together, keeps our emotions together, keeps one incarnation from the next incarnation, keeps us building and not just going from being human into an animal or being human into a fly. No, it doesn't work like that. All right. We're in the image and similitude of higher evolution. This higher evolution is in you, which is the living universe. So we are part of an infinite and an eternal living universe right here, right now. We just don't know it. We've been told that we're born into sin and all. No, you're just one part. We just talked about how the physical body is simultaneously birthed in the heavens, infinite and eternal, at the same time when you come down here, so you can always return. When you come down here, you give up your spiritual essence to dwell in darkness so that you can learn and make the light necessary to get you back up to where you're supposed to be. No such thing as death. All right? It's just transforming from one body to the next. So this is the first key. As you can see, key 01, key 02, key 03. Normally they don't do 3 in 1, but in the beginning they want you to know. So what do these keys mean, right? You live in the many in the one, right? These are the first three keys of Enoch, is when Enoch programmed these keys into me, meaning now he's talking about how Enoch actually programmed the keys so that he can write this book, whoever this person is, female, it, whatever. All right. Being a part of the open-ended universe, we are part of an open-ended mind. We all have a mind. Our minds are closed when we think a certain way, when it's all about us, selfishness, these low energy frequencies locks us in. All right. Being a part of an open-ended universe, we are part of an open-ended mind. Being a part of an open-ended mind, we are part of an open-ended universal image. If we look at the first three keys, we'll see that the many and the one, that in the many and the one, there's a relationship between universe to universe and universe to many universes. We're seeing universe to universe and universe to many universes. We see the overall plan of a development as requiring a higher mind. What are we saying? We're saying that we see how all these things are connected to each other. From the lowest form of the chakras to the highest form of the chakras, it's a building process. It's an evolution. It's a spiritual evolution of consciousness. We're moving off the physical plane into a realm of light. First, low light. This physical realm represents the lowest form of light. It's still light. It's just gravitationally trapped light that goes through decay. There are other forms of light that don't do. That's what we call the infinite and eternal. That's what we call the spiritual realm. I want to live forever in the Father's realm, heaven. That's what we call that. It ain't nothing but spiritualized light, a light body that doesn't require physical energy. That's all it is. Okay, we got to reprogram the mind. Okay, knowledge of the living mind comes after the living mind becomes open-ended. Your mind becomes open-ended when you go into yourself, when you start to dwell on spiritual things, not physical things. The scroll starts with an open-ended cosmology rather than a closed-ended cosmology, meaning death. There's such thing that, oh, this thing comes to end, the sun is going to explode and we're all going to die. No such thing. No such thing. Get all that worry up out of you. The only hell there is the hell that you prepare for yourself. The only heaven there is the heaven that you prepare for yourself. And believe it or not, you're preparing it right now with what you think, what you like, what you desire, how you treat people, how you use the love that has been given to you. Regardless of your programming, how you've been tricked, what they tell you, it's up to you to do it. All right. So the scroll starts with an open-ends cosmology rather than a closed-ends cosmology. For we are to say in the first key that the creative mind is the center of this universe. I'll say it again. The creative mind as the center of this universe is known as the Lord Redeemer. It would put all galaxies into a singular universe. So it's saying that you may have 700,777,000 galaxies all in one universe. And one galaxy may have 777,777,777 solar systems in one galaxy. So it's trying to show you how open this thing is, open-ended mind. All right. All right. Man by starting out with his own three-dimensional concept of God would limit God to that universe. So we can only think, most men can only think of God as God being him dictating over others in this realm, not a God that dictates over all physical realms, physical earth stations, all galaxies, all universes. You can't see it because your mind hasn't expanded to see the love and how it trickles down. You've only been taught a God of wrath. If you praise any God other than me, you're going to hell. If you don't believe in Jesus, you're going to hell. If you don't believe Muhammad and Allah, you're going to hell. You don't believe in Buddha, you're going to hell. Bullshit. That's ways to keep you trapped. If they're saying if they're giving you a ceiling, I'm telling you to run right now because there is no ceiling. It is open-ended. Let's keep going. When you see the many as well as the one, you recognize that there's a perfect plurality that is also a perfect unity. The many and the one. By going into the splendor of the universes, plural, not universes, you recognize the plan for creation that can be seen in this universe in this level of creation. When you can recognize that one must go beyond theologies and all cosmologies that say that God is here only at this level of creation, for God is neither here nor there. Po no tai. That's where you get that in the Bible. Neither here nor there. Why is that? Why is that? Why did they say that? Because he is seen, or it is seen, in all universes, all galaxies, all solar systems, all planetary creations, all people that think. He is beyond all universes, and yet all universes function as a collective brain diagram of higher evolution of creation. So it's saying all this is a part of a higher evolution of creation. It's part of a higher plan, how we advance from physical creation into spiritual creations. Okay? Can the perceptual form of this planetary mind, meaning us, be so vain as to suppose that the universe does not exist beyond the scope of its own three-dimensional energy? We already know what we see is the smallest of the light realm, the light spectrum. What we see with these eyes is the smallest realm of light of what we can actually see: infrared, uh, uh, um, 3D, 4D, 5D, what we can actually experience. So we know these 3D eyes are a treat. What we see with these eyes isn't really true. It's the illusion. It's the projection from what's inside of you, the inner consciousness in you. And how that consciousness function is how you see the world, how you experience it, how you feel it. All right? The universe which surrounds us is full of love-powered emulations. Emulations are images, are patterns of images, all powered by love. And love thresholds in which man, as a son of man, capital L man, the light body of man, is involved as life begots life and even eternal life. So it's saying that even though we're trapped in this realm of decay, entropy, centropy is the central function of entropy. So when you leave this realm, we go back to center, we go back to the heavens, we go back to everlasting life. Therefore, grasp not of the spiritual inversion of light into matter, life into death, but awaken your vision into light and love and the grace of humanity before the magnificent and benevolent one of eternal peace. And this eternal peace is this conscious mind stream of the infinite and the eternal mind that's in you, that you must contact in you. All right. The mind can stay where it is and be programmed, the Redeemer, the Messiah, into any teacher of the light, capital L conscious light. Muhammad, Jesus, Buddha, Zen, Moses, Akhenaten, Osiris, all right, Horus, all right, Isis, or should I say Aset. All of those are energy transfers that can be transferred into you so you can fulfill whatever destiny you need. That's why it says the mind can be stay where it is right here, right now, and be programmed into the Redeemer. The mind can stay where it is and be programmed into any master, such as it says Osiris, David, King David, the king. All these are ships of Yuhe Wavhe's sovereign energy. Yuhe Wavhe represents the infinite mind and how it expresses its energies. It expresses its energies in conscious development. How people help others. The mind can stay where it is and program into the Lord, the Adonai, into any universe, into any galaxy, into any life station. So you have huge universes that break down into huge galaxies that break down into huge solar systems. 700 and 700,000 million, no, 700 million and 700,000 of universes break down in, no, 700 to 700 700 million and 700,000 galaxies are in just one universe. 700 million and 700,000 million, 777,000 solar systems are in one galaxy. So it's trying to show the infinite and the eternal and how large this thing is. How many different spots you can go to continue learning where you left off. The Messiah, the higher orders of intelligence understand that the Messiah is where the redemptive energies of the body of light manifest. So when you are when this is manifested within you, you are part of the collective Messiah, a collective Messiahship. So it's saying that the Christ is nothing but a Messiah. A Messiah and the Christ are titles that can be in you. That's why Jesus said in John 34, 34:10, that isn't ye our gods and you will do better than me. Why? Because the Messiah is where the redemptive energies of the body of light are manifested. When they are manifested within you, you are part of a collective Messiahship, a collective Christness that unifies all physical universes that interpenetrate the physical plane and those beyond other frequencies of light. It's in you. These higher energies are in you. These higher consciousness are in you. We are to see when and if man is to work with the creative mind, he must comprehend that the creative mind is as something beyond the anthropomorphic image of three-dimensional God form, even beyond the light form of the Adam Cadman, even beyond the Mosaic form of the Melchizedek, meaning these are all conscious elevations of light. We go from a physical form to the Adam Cadman, which can move throughout the heavens, to a Metatronic light that can move even further, to a Melchizedek light that can move. These are all energies that are in you. All it needs to be is activated. If we are to participate in the ongoing biochemical evolution and continuality and change within the creative continuum of higher evolution, we must release ourselves from all vain endeavors to quicken any type of establishment of any type of conscious religion on this realm. Why? Because all our energies must be concentrated into the next realm where we'll get the downloads, where we'll get the Christ energy, the Messiah power from that comes into us so that we can now be the Christ. Okay? That's why in St. John's 32, chapter 10, didn't I say ye are gods? Didn't I say you will do better things? All the energy is in us. These are energy beings, not people. The third key tells us that creations which survive must desire more than eternal life. You must desire more than just to be alive. They must also gather the light of the living, because on a frequency of light, capital L conscious light, is determined the next threshold within the biological evolution. Light is the immunization of the divine love that desires to share all manners of creation that serve the living light. I'm going to say it again. The third key tells us creations must survive, must desire more than eternal life. You must desire more just than be alive. Being alive ain't going to cut it. All right, just to be alive for the sake of being alive. What must you do? You must gather the capital L light, conscious light that you gathered through meditation, that you gathered through listening to the higher self, your higher self in spirit, and you impose that light onto this realm, the higher light, and gather light of the living, because on the frequency of light, capital L light, this is the frequency. This is what we tune into. On this frequency of light is determined the next threshold within the biological evolution. So your biological evolution, where you go next, is determined on how you gather light of the living, and if you can be on this higher frequency of light. This will determine where you go. Your biological, the light of the capital of light is the immunization. It's the pattern image of the divine love. that desires to serve all manners of creation that serve the living light. This living light is the conscious light of your mind. Once you tap into this living light, you have now tapped into the infinite and the eternal. You now get a portion of yourself back so that you can use it for higher evolution. So they can come through you and you can help people. You can heal people. You can do all that through your words. Moreover, within the frequency of light is determined the astrochemical parameters as to the width, the dimension, and the size of the galaxy. So as you think, you are now mapping out your own galaxy within yourself. How far, not only within you, but without you, how far this galaxy can go, because now you're using the power of love on a light frequency. You've tapped into it. You've seen that everyone down here, no matter what they do to you, are a part of yourself. And you shouldn't be mad at anyone because they're only a representation of you. What you lack or what you don't like. Someone does something to you that makes you angry. That's an issue that you have with you, not them, because they're representing what you need to fix. And this is how you have to start looking at things. Let me keep going. Moreover, within the frequency of light is determined the astrochemical parameters as to the width, dimension, and the size of the universe. For within a larger galaxy is a larger image, which is open-ended, just as the universe is open-ended. So it's saying when you're in a galaxy that can love more, the galaxy is larger. But this larger galaxy comes a larger open image, meaning you can see more because you can grasp more. All right. Within a larger galaxy is a larger image, which is a larger open-ended, just as the universe is open-ended. The semitude and the image-making capacity is also open-ended, just as the universe is open-ended. So as you open this thing up and your mind becomes open-ended, now you start to see things differently. Sizes change. You see how things are great and small. If you look at the original Hebrew scripture, you will find that man is made into the image and similitude. Not just the picture, not just the likeness. They switched it to likeness, but no, we were made into the image and similitude. This is why words matter. Into indicates an evolution of continuing and gathering of light, conscious light, capital L light. Why image and similitude? It is because image is not enough. Image will die with the creative patterns of life. You will need the similitude of the lifetime continuum of that light to regenerate that image. So for me to be me, my image is one thing, but it will die with this earth because it's a part of this objectiveness, what you can see. What I need is the continual conscious pattern of me through lifetimes that you cannot see. The eternal me, the infinite me. I get put back into this body, so I start off right where I left off before in the physical consciousness, leaving my eternal inheritance up in the heavens while I go down here and figure this shit out. Okay. Why the image and similitude? Image is not enough. Image will die with the creative patterns of life. You will need the similitude of the space-time continuum of light to regenerate that image. This is why the man of light, the Adam Cadman, incarnates into the image of the Adamic species. This is why you don't incarnate into a dog, a flea, a tiger. This is why you can't be that tree. Once your energies have been significantly upgraded, once your consciousness now carries this energy of infinite and the eternal with it, it can only regenerate back into itself. Because that is where you left off at. That's where your spirit is. To go back any further would stop the progression. You're going upward. You're not going back. Shit behind you is gone. You're going upward. You're going to a new heavens and a new earth. And if you can't handle that, you'll be recycled back to the same spot you left off down here. All right. This is why man is made into why the man of light, the Adam Cadman. Now they're talking about a specific species of man. They're not talking about everybody. The man of light has hair that grows to the center, 9 ether. The Adam Cadman, that's part of our body matrix that we have to activate. This is why the Adamic species of light continuously reincarnates into the image of man species, not a lower evolution. Without the semitude, the synchronicities of incarnations repeating the light function and the light frequencies, the image would be here and die like a flash in the darkness. But the semitude can hold the consistency of light so that other evolutions can come into the image and feed off its light or off its image. So not only are you here as a spirit, now other realms, when I'm speaking to you now, even though you may be listening, other spiritual entities in you can feed off the same light that you're hearing when you hear it, and it gathers within you. When you read it, as long as it's gathering in the light and love, all right? The semitude can hold a consistent pattern of light so that other evolutions can come into its image and feed off it. Just like others will come before your image and feed off your conscious light that comes through your image once you have seen and beheld the Ophrium or the infinite light. Once you have seen and beheld the atom cadmium, which is a part of your higher chemistry revealed to you in your true identity pattern, all this shit is part of you. I can't make this shit up. This is shit that they do not want you to know. They do not want you to dwell inside you and get this power. All right. For we are not in the image of the world or of this age, because the world was translated to age. They translated age into the world of this age. But we are not in the image of the world, but we're in the image of higher evolution. And higher evolution is a constant remaking, repatterning of conscious self. It's a getting better and better. If you ain't getting better, you're getting worse. Okay? We are not in the semitude of the world, but the semitude of higher evolution. And the key goes on to say that higher evolution, which is an emulation, it's a pattern of energy, of pictures of the living universe, is a part of the universal mind. We all have minds. We can all tap into this universal mind, which can be here as well as in any other universe at the same time. So we can pull down this energy to be with us at any time we need, to do whatever we need to do. Save us, help us, to be Hercules strong, to not get burnt when we're in a fire, to fly if necessary. All this is possible, but someone has told you can't. Someone told you human. Someone told you that you can't do these things. It's physically impossible, but it's not spiritually impossible. Facts. All right. He goes on to say higher evolution, which is an emulation of higher universe as a part of a higher universal mind, which can be here as well as in other universes at the same time. There can be a multiple incarnations of higher creations. So you could be living multiple lives in multiple physical realms right now, because we're all connected back to the soul, our higher self, bringing back experience from this physical creation to our higher self. There can be a multitude of incarnations in higher creation. There can be a multitude of programming through the light manifestations without physical form. So like I said, there are programming going on without the physical bodies in higher evolution, and there's programs going on in the physical. All these programs are connected through the Father's plan, through the Father's universe. Key, light, capital L light consciousness is both image and semitude. Capital L light consciousness, our thoughts, when we think at a higher level, is both energy and matter. When you start to go back up the periodic table, back into the realm of the triple stage of darkness, the first stage of triple stage of darkness is before energy, before matter, before light. That's going back -1, 2, 3, then -3, 4, 5, 6, before space, before place, before time. Going back up deeper, and these represent energies, these represent powers. Then you go back into the furthest, before body, before spirit, before soul, all the way back up into the spirit, into the triple stage of darkness, going back the other way. These things had to manifest in the darkness going through these things, but soul, spirit, body, time, place, space, light, energy, matter. Boom, now things that would bring up to your involution so evolution could start. Oh, yes, it's deep. This scroll speaks of the depth which is involved in speaking in the many and the one. Yes, how complicated it is. The only reason I can break it down is because I've been spiritually prepared for this my whole life. I've read this book many a times, and even when I read it now, I still get downloads. That's how powerful this thing is. When you get into yourself, when you open up that spiritual channel. My brothers and sisters, praise of the Creator resounds throughout the many heavens, known to thee by faith, has been most cherished by the host of the heavens, who stand ready with the light energies of redemption, who are swift in their delivery of justice with the swiftness of fire. So it's showing you right now, they're waiting for you. That's why it says you take one step towards the spirit takes 2 steps towards you. That's 3 steps. That's the Trinity. That's 3 steps. All right. And the more you keep stepping, the more you start evolving this vortex. 1, 2, 3 is the first foundation. 4, 5, 6 is the next. 7, 8, 9 is the next. That's a vortex. That's a vortex of energy. That's 360 degrees of knowledge and wisdom and understanding. 360 degrees of evidence. That knowledge, wisdom, and understanding turns to evidence, experience, and reason. You keep evolving. The evidence of reason and experience turns into universal love, cosmic awareness, and deep spiritual insight. This shit is open-ending. You go from 480 thought or sight, that blurry crap, to high definition 720 to 1180, seeing it all, even the little things look big. For those host energies are the network of salvation. They're talking about the brothers and sisters that of heaven stand by with the light energy of redemption, who are swift in their delivery of justice with the swiftness of fire. For those host energy are the networks of salvation, the electromagnetic energy current set in the place around the earth and prepared for the computing of our life spectrum of conversion. The species of light that have remained intact throughout these ages because there is an invincible projection of divine creation that withstands the negative fields of desolation and abomination with their love of the Creator and their selfless devotion to the conscious growth and evolution. So when the masters come down here, the reason we cannot be defeated, we cannot be killed, we cannot be determined, I'm going to say it again. The species of light that have remained intact, those of us that are in the world and not of it, that speak things that most of y'all cannot understand, or understand. Why is that? Because these species have been intact through these ages in this darkness that we've come through over the last thousands of years, because there is an invincible projection of divine creation. Where is it coming from? It's coming from in you. It's coming from the inner you, your inner soul, your inner spirit. This divine creation that can withstand negative fields of dissolution and abomination. Right now, we're in a world of dissolution and abomination, a world of spatial darkness. We are like a cancer cell to the rest of the body. Because we're in the Creator's body like everybody else. We're like a cancer cell, sick, trying to get redeemed and healed. All right? But we can withstand this negative field and this abomination and desolation because of our love, capital love, for the selfless devotion to conscious growth. We want all y'all to grow consciously and evolve. Spiritual evolution. Spiritual evolution. What is that? That and anything that interferes with the materialistic decay and not allowing you to expand in your full spiritual and capabilities. Any materialistic that stops that. All right. Woo. So that was the prelude. That was number 1. After this, we're going to move a little quicker because I think we went over a lot in this first thing. Like I said, this is series 1 of 4. We'll have one tomorrow, same time at 1 o'clock. We'll have one Thursday and Friday, same time at 1 o'clock. Hopefully, I can get one of my spiritual brothers and sisters to come on. But like I said, replay this, share it for all y'all that want to know, that want to do, that want to be. I'm going to share it again at 8 o'clock tonight. So I'll have it at 1 and I'll have it at 8 tonight. I'll copy it over there onto my Facebook page so that everyone can get the science. Once again, this is not my science. It's not your science. This is spiritual science. This comes from within us, not just me, within us. The same shit I know you can know, but you got to be willing not to lie to yourself, to be truthful to yourself, to go beyond the physical, all right? To touch the infinite, taste the eternal. It's a whole different realm and a whole different lane. Saying that, peace, love. I will see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock for phase 2 of the Book of Knowledge. Let me give it to you. The Book of Knowledge. This is what I'm reading out of. You can read this yourself. This is a advanced mastery book that you must know a lot of stuff before you can read it and get a clear understanding. I've given the book to other people. They gave it back quickly. Thank you for giving it back and not destroying it. But there was a plan. So thank you. Peace and love, people. Once again, I just try to spread the living light in life to all of us. And it starts within us. All right. You got to start thinking synthropy. You got to thinking spirit to become spirit. All right. Let go of that physical and the material stuff if you want to get to the next realm. Everything that you do, how you use your love and light will determine where you're going on the next realm. I've discussed it. Rewind the tape. Go back. This will give you this will be the beginning of what you need for what you want to, for where you want to go or where you want to be. You say you love God. You say you love Jesus. You say you love Muhammad. All those are energies in you. I defy you to find that energy in you and take advantage of it. Peace, love.